Hey guys, welcome back to another stream. As per usual, it's me, you guy, and UnOrdinary is back. It's back. Well, we have a side story right now, but season 2 doesn't start till the 28th of this month. But Guru uploaded a side story today, which we are going to be reacting to, and because this is overdue and I've been pushing it off way too much, yeah, we're gonna do my season 1 recap today. My recap and review that I've been talking about doing for the past months. Sorry. But that is what we're going to be doing today, and I hope you guys can dig it. Hello Trillin. Hello Ocean Moonlight. Welcome, you guys. But that's what we're going to be doing today. And before we get into the recap, or should I do the recap first? What up, Trey? Welcome back. Let's see. I'll do the recap after we do the reaction to the episode. That seems like a good idea. But yeah, let's get into it. It is currently 10 o'clock for me, Mountain Standard Time. So yeah, but let's go ahead and just pull all this up. So let's go ahead and jump in to UnOrdinary Side Story Rei. All right. Wellston Boys Dormitories. Then we have young Rei, looks pretty cool, and we have some guy carrying boxes. And then Rei just like, Is that Zeke? Wait a minute. Hold the fuck up. Did Zeke get held back years? Holy crap. Okay, so alright, hey! You must be Kuyo. Okay, not Zeke, but he could be related to Zeke, who knows? You must be Kuyo. You got a lot of stuff there. Need some help? Don't you have your own stuff to take care of? It's fine, I'm pretty much done unpacking. I got nothing else to do. By the way, my name's Rei. Nice to meet you. UnOrdinary. Side story. Rei's beginning 1. Alright. I'm down with this. But did you read Solo Leveling up on Solo Leveling? I did not, no. What is up, Mike? Welcome back as always. But no, I have not read Solo Leveling. Anyway, so continuing on. And he's just drinking some coffee. Thanks, Mike. And then it's Zeke not Zeke. It's Rei and Kuyo again. Hey, Rei, you must be pretty strong to have been accepted into Wellston. Yeah, I think most of us are. What's your level? Oh, 3.2. What about you? 3.5. What? But you're only a first year, and you're already in elite? My family is mostly made up of high rankers, so it's nothing unexpected. I see. Both my parents are elites. It'd be cool to be as strong as them eventually. Relax. You're not that far off. Just stick with me, and you'll get stronger in no time. Ooh, I don't trust Kuyo now. I don't trust Kuyo. Thanks, Michael. I don't know if I could be that high. I'm no Vic Mignogna, but I do want to be. Like I said, I want to voice John. He'll be that strong in this time, but I don't trust Kuyo. Not that smirk. I don't think he uses his power for good. And if he is Zeke's brother, which I'm calling right now, I'm calling that right now, I don't trust him. No trusties. And then Rei's just ... Now we're at Rei. We're at school, I mean. How's your day been? Alright, I guess. The headmistress. Oh, man. What? There's so much different during Rei's time. The headmistress called me into her office earlier. Oh, really? What for? Something about... Oh, and Rei bumps into someone. I'm sorry. And then Kuyo's just ... There it is. Right there. Right there. He is looking down on her, and Rei's just like, are you okay? And then Kuyo grabs him. No. No. This is not the way, Rei. Come on, let's go. Let her clean up her own mess. Huh? And then she runs away. Low tiers are such klutzes. Stop for one of them, and then another comes along and causes more trouble. All they do is drag the rest of us down. So annoying. Don't waste your time on people like that. I don't think they do it on purpose. ... I don't trust Kuyo. Anyway, what I was saying before, the headmistress said I suggested that I acquaint myself with the royals. She wants me to learn from them because I'm one of the strongest first years. Wow! That's awesome! You get to meet the royals? Actually, I'm heading to see with one of them right now. Want to come? Me? Are you sure that's a good idea? I'm just a mid-tier. What are you getting all self-conscious for? You're with me after all. There's no need to worry. ... Well, suit yourself. I'm off. Huh? Hey, wait up! I'm coming too! And then... What were the royals like when Rei was around? Tap, tap, tap. ... Huh? And then we got people chattering. Is that her? I don't know. They just told me to come here. These two kind of remind me of Arlo and Cecile a bit. Yeah. Welcome, SOS Salami. Welcome. These two remind me of Arlo and Cecile a bit. Yeah. Alright. Kuyo, right? What? They know your name? It's about time you showed up. Come on, let me introduce you. He pulls Kuyo to them. This is Cassandra. She's Wellston's #1. Hi. Kuyo, huh? I've heard good things about you from the headmistress. Cool. Who's that over there? He's my roommate. They're all looking this way. Something behind me? ... Don't just stand there, stupid. Say something. You're embarrassing me. Hey. My name is Rei. You two are rooming together, so you must be around the same rank. Kuyo is stronger. I'm a 3.2. Not bad for a first year. Keep working hard at it and you can become a high ranker too. Well, it was fun meeting you both. I'm sure we'll be seeing each other around. Can I really become one of them? UnOrdinary Rei's beginning. 1 end. Alright. I loved that. That was fantastic. That was really good. I was expecting more action. I don't know why though. But no, it was good to see young Rei. Me too. Maybe we'll see that next week, Mike. if it gets updated next week, which I think we said it does. But it was very interesting to see this. It was good. It was really cool to see Rei, what he was like, and yeah. So yeah, that was kind of abrupt, but oh well. We shall keep moving along. Oh, don't do that. So that was it for that reaction then. Let's move on to the season 1 recap then. So, I guess I will first start by telling you guys how I came to find UnOrdinary. Back last year in 2018, I'm pretty sure. It was about March. I was just lazing around one day. And I had been on Webtoons a few times in the past. Kind of abruptly jumping into this, I know. I had kind of seen Webtoons in the past. I like saw everything. I was like, okay, this is that, blah, blah, blah. But the one I would read the most at that time was Doodle for Food. I think her name is Erin. I forget what her name is. Megan K, I think, the artist for Doodle for Food. So I would only watch that. But at that time, I would always see UnOrdinary being recommended as the number 1. And I was like, this looks really interesting. Maybe I'll give it a try someday. Or maybe I'll give it a read soon. I never did. So last year, around March, like I said, I was just goofing around one day. I had errands to run. My car needed to get repaired. So I decided, I have time. I'm on Webtoons right now. I'll just read UnOrdinary. I've been pushing this off for way too long. And I started reading it. I was immediately hooked. But let's read chat real quick. Rei becoming king? Oh heck yeah, our boy. I wonder how he surpassed Kuyo though. I want to see about that. Because Kuyo, I don't like Kuyo, guys. He not a good apple. He a bad apple. The bad apple. I think the action is gonna spice up in the next few weeks when the other parts of this past come out. Am I excited for his transformation? Yes. Do you think when UnOrdinary comes back, it'll pick up where it left off or a different scene? Joshua, welcome. I think it is gonna continue right where it left off. If not right where it left off, I think it's gonna be the same day with like Arlo and Remy, like in the infirmary, like all 4 of them in the infirmary. Arlo, Remy, Blake, Ison, all 4 of them in the infirmary, and then John and Cecile just coming in and be like, "What up, bitch?" Anyway, yeah. I don't know. I don't give people like that. Okay. Here's my thing. Here's the thing about Kuyo. Remy, I hate her. Clearly, I don't hate Remy. I just think she's annoying. But Remy, she wasn't rude. She never belittled low tiers. She didn't know what was going on with them, but she never belittled them. Ison never belittled low tiers. He was more so just like, if he like, well, he didn't really do anything either. But he didn't ever like try to step in, but he didn't do anything to low tiers. Blank didn't care. He was just in his own world. Everyone else in this series who we've seen like how they treat people, they're like Kuyo. They think that low tiers contribute nothing. So nah, bro. Not me, bro. Anyway. But yeah, I think Kuyo's related to Zeke. I'm calling it. I'm calling that. But anyway, back to the my story with UnOrdinary. So I started reading. I was instantly hooked. I loved everything. I like binged the series within about 2 days. I believe I got from. I think I was able to get from the very beginning of UnOrdinary, like John versus I think Stoneboy's name was Gavin. I was able to get from there to about Yeah, I think near when John first moved in the dorms, because I'm pretty sure I started in March of 2018 reading UnOrdinary. Anyway, and I was instantly hooked. I loved everything. All the characters were bright and colorful. But yeah, welcome, J-Chat. Did it? Let me look back at that for the shading on everything. Yeah. Well, Uru has been getting help lately. She did hire some new people. She credited them in this chapter. But yeah. So I instantly started really liking the series, and John was my favorite character. Absolutely. Um, I really like John. John is a character I feel is one of the more human characters. Um, and I'll just jump into this with my favorite characters. So John is clearly my favorite character because, like I've said in the past, I relate to John a lot. Growing up, I didn't have very many friends. Again, I'm not trying to play the victim card because I wasn't a victim. I was kind of an ass as a kid too, but I didn't have very many friends, and a lot of the times when people would try to be my friend, they would just kind of end up just pushing me aside or whatever. Kids are kids. So so I related to John. I was like, I know what that's like. I know what it's like to not be the most popular kid in school. And again, growing up, my parents would always tell me, you have a lot of strength, so use it. I was a big kid. I was a big kid in school, but I never really liked fighting. So I relate to John, and I somewhat agree with his worldviews. Clearly not all of them. I think John was very much in the right to do what he did because everyone everyone except for Seraphina, I'm going to say, for right now, and Blake. Blake isn't Two-Faced. I'll get to him in a moment then. But I just related to John a lot, and I liked him because he's told us from the very beginning he's not a hero. He doesn't want to be a hero. He just wants to live his life, and I respect that. I respect that a heck of a lot because it's very brave to just put yourself in it. This might not make any sense, but it's very brave to just put up that front and just try to be yourself because for the longest time, John was doing a good job. Even before he had Seraphina, I don't know if he would have lasted without Seraphina. I will say that. I don't know if John would have lasted without Seraphina's help. But when he moved to Wellston, he was still just I'm going to live my life. He got the shit kicked out of him by the strongest student in school and still said, I don't care. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live it. And he was able to make friends with the strongest person in school because of that. And so once Arlo came into the picture, obviously, things started to change because Arlo started to manipulate John. And I don't like Arlo at all, really. I think it would be cool for Arlo and John to not become friends, but become rivals, just a mutual respect type thing. But I don't like Arlo at all. Anyway, so yeah, John is my favorite character. Once all the Joker stuff started going down, I am one of the people who sympathize with John in that instance because we don't. I've said this countless times. We don't like what John is doing from our world's perspective, from the society we live in that we've all grown up in. It's not right for the strong to pick on the weak. It's not. We don't rank each other or we don't look at each other based on how strong or how powerful each other is. We do know that most people have something to contribute. Everyone has a strength, everyone has a weakness. But in the world of UnOrdinary, it's viewed that the weak don't have anything to contribute. And so John was just again, I've said this countless times and I'm going to beat it like a dead horse. John has just been doing what every single person has done to him. The only difference was he was that much stronger, and he was that much stronger, so of course he could do more damage to everyone. No one else held back against John. John would still go to the infirmary every single day with broken bones, bruises, everything. We've seen the crap John went through. We saw what Arlo put him through. So, from our world's perspective, we don't like what John's doing. But in his world, in the world of UnOrdinary, he's not doing anything wrong. He's just stronger than people, and he's wearing a mask. Now, moving on to Seraphina. I love Seraphina from the beginning. I think Seraphina... Real quick, one last thing to add on John. I also like John's design. Personally, I actually did like Helmet Head John more, because I felt that made him look more like a unique protagonist instead of like the wavy, somewhat spiky hair. I like both of John's looks, but I do think I prefer John with the helmet. Anyway, moving on. Seraphina. Seraphina is a very, very strong character. I was talking about this with the other UnOrdinary YouTubes. Shoutouts to Digi, Mr. Fox, Ty Animations, Steph, and Shaman. And Shaman pointed this out to me, Shaman and Ty. Seraphina is the most important character of the series. I don't take credit for this whatsoever. This was all Shaman and Ty who came up with this and brought it up to me, and I was like, you guys are absolutely right. John is our protagonist. He's the main character of the series. Seraphina, however, is the most important character. She's the central character of everything. Because everyone's motivations for everything that everyone does, they do it for Seraphina. John started doing what he's doing because of Seraphina. He wanted to change the world because he was able to change Seraphina. Arlo wanted to get rid of John and put John in his place because he wanted to get Seraphina back into the Royals. But then he didn't want Seraphina to find out about John because he knew what would happen. So he started protecting Seraphina. William wanted John to tell Seraphina the truth. Headmaster Vaughn wanted to keep Seraphina away from the authorities. The authorities wanted to get Seraphina away from John. Wanted to get Seraphina away from Vaughn. Doc wanted his girlfriend, what's her name? Layla, to help Seraphina out. Everyone's motivations for everything points back to Seraphina, and I think that's a very powerful story element that Uru implemented. I really like that, and again, I did not come up with that. That was completely Shaman and Ty Animations. I need to remember his name again. Yes, Super Sky Shaman. Yes, that was completely Super Sky Shaman and Ty Animations who came up with that and pointed that out to me. So yeah, she's a very... And again, Seraphina, I like her a lot because we saw what she was like in the past, but we saw that Seraphina was able to change. She was able to see John as a person. And then she was able to protect John. She clearly wasn't always there. But whenever John needed help, she would always step in. And I really like that. Seraphina was a very strong character for that. And then everything started happening. And she lost her powers. And even though John lied to her, she still tried to maintain motivation. Even when she met what's her name? I've forgotten our queen's name. Evie. Even when she met Evie, she was able to be strong. She was able to stand up for Evie. And I love Evie. Evie is best girl. She is our queen. I'm going to be honest for a second. I forgot Evie existed. But no, she was able to stand up for Evie, and I think his name is Roland, and her friends, and they were able, and she, I think, started training them to fight like her and John do. And despite everything, Seraphina has grown the most, I think. I wouldn't say John has grown, because instead of a progression, John sort of had a regression. He reverted back to his old habits. And Seraphina, she grew the most because she saw what cripples were going through. She had that big struggle with everything that was happening to her, losing her powers. Like she said, she woke up every morning hoping that her powers would be back, but nothing would ever happen. She would always be disappointed. But then she started deciding, no, this isn't going to hold me back. I'm gonna move forward. And she was doing very well until the season finale, unfortunately, because she saw the whole time that John had been lying to her. So I'm excited to see where that relationship is going to go from here. Arlo. I don't like Arlo. I don't. He's a complete hypocrite. He tries to act high and mighty when he's not the strongest person. He tries to order people who are stronger than him around, which, according to his view on the hierarchy, is completely ludicrous and should not be happening. Someone pointed this out in. I'm not sure if it was in my Discord or if it was with discussions with the other UnOrdinary YouTubers. So again, I didn't come up with this, but I did realize another situation like this. Arlo told John that 4 people cannot gang up on someone and say that he was put in his place or that he learned his place, which is what Remy, Blyke, Ison, and Arlo ended up doing. We saw back when John was going up against Tanner and Wenky and all them. We saw that the first time that he told John, like, hey, that's not okay. Like, people can't just do that and say, oh yeah, well, we really showed him. But in the final fight, that's exactly what happened. But also, I realized this the other day, Arlo already did the same thing when he freaking ambushed John with Melee and Ventus. He put John in an impossible situation, and he puts John in a situation that Arlo himself said isn't fair. It's not right. It's not how hierarchy works. And look what happened in both situations. John was still able to come out on top despite everything, despite all odds being stacked against him in Arlo's mind. However, it's very strange to me also. I'm not sure if Uru stuck to her original plans for Arlo, and it's something I've always wanted to ask her if I ever got the chance to go to the con. I didn't participate in the Q&A, actually. I know I love UnOrdinary, but I was actually with friends on that night, so I wasn't able to participate. But something I've always wanted to ask ask Uru, is if Arlo was originally supposed to be more sadistic, more villainesque. Because when we first met Arlo, he manipulated Seraphina into going turf wars. Now, clearly, that's a big thing in UnOrdinary, people using for each other's game. But Arlo, when we first met him, in his first fight, he literally started to choke a girl because she was weaker than him. He challenged, I believe their name is Agwin. I believe that's the name of their school. He challenged Agwin's group, and when it came to him versus Rain, he started choking her out and saying, you're supposed to be the strongest? Wow, you're pathetic. And he wasn't letting go. When Seraphina even told him, Arlo, that's enough, he continued and he started pressing down even harder on her neck. So I'm very curious if Arlo was originally supposed to be more of a sadistic villain, more evil than he is, because Arlo's not anymore, I should say. Arlo's not necessarily a bad person. Well, he's a bad person. He's not a villain. He's not a villain. He's another important character to the series. He's another student who's growing. And he's not a villain. He's just trying to do what he's been raised to do. Which, again, like with John's situation, is what they're supposed to do in their society. So that's my 2 cents on Arlo. I'm curious about who he was supposed to be, because who he is now and who he was kind of after that situation doesn't really line up. Unless Uru is still planning on doing that, like showing more of Arlo's sadistic side going forward. Because after the turf war, Arlo started focusing everything into John. Remy. Remy is cute. Remy is adorable. She's a great character. She's very skilled. She's very skilled in combat. Remy is a very good character. But towards the end with everything, she started to be really annoying. I liked when she started becoming a hero to avenge her brother. I thought that was a very good turn of events for her. I liked that she decided to tell Arlo, screw you, I'm not telling anyone anything. If you want me to stop being a hero, fine. But I don't trust the authorities. I liked that. I liked seeing Remy to be the one to go against everything, to go against conventions out of everyone who wasn't personally affected by John. But towards the end of everything, her views of everything just started being hypocritical, and I started to realize Remy doesn't care about low tiers. Well, she might now. I know there are a lot of people who disagree, but Remy didn't care about low tiers. When it came down to it, all she was doing was out of revenge. She didn't become a superhero because she wanted to help save low tiers, like Rei did. She did it because she wanted to find and stop and destroy Ember. When she met with Vulcan, she tried to kill Vulcan. Well, I don't know if she tried to kill, but she definitely tried to take Vulcan down. But yeah, Remy doesn't care about... She doesn't... She's not as educated as she should be to make such high statements. Because like John said, she didn't know anything. And like John said, she was only trying to put up an attempt at salvaging everything when she realized what was going to happen to her. I don't like Remy right now. Maybe she will have major growth in season 2. I honestly do want everyone to get along with each other. I want to see, like I said before, I want to see everyone team up together to take down Ember and the authorities. I really hope Vaughn's not connected to Ember because it has to be the authorities. It has to be. Anyway, but towards the end of it, I did not like Remy, not one bit. Blank is probably my favorite character out of the mall trio, as we'll call them. But because he's one of the few people who he is one of the only 2 people to try and, well, that's not true because we saw flashbacks with Evie and Roland, but just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to say he's one of the only 2 people who try to befriend John, but he's the only person to decide to try and befriend John. Because Seraphina and John became friends after John kept pushing it. After John kept being like, hey, I'm working on this project, you can't stop me. After they finished the final project, John was like, yo, we're getting boba. Seraphina was like, nah, I'm gonna go to the library. And John was like, no, we're getting boba, let's go. Seraphina became John's friend because of John's influence on her. Blyke, however, at least from what I can remember, Blyke is the only person in the entire story to try and be John's friend that John did not directly influence. Who had literally nothing to gain from being John's friend. Because he saw how low tiers were being treated when he was with Remy. And he decided for himself, not because of John, not because of UnOrdinary, because he saw what was going down, he decided, this isn't right. This is what John goes through every day, and it's not okay. John needs a friend, and I'm going to try and be that friend. He had nothing to gain from befriending John, but he still decided, no, like, he hates me, I know, I'm still going to try. Blank, I would say, is one of the more human characters. He's one of the more real characters. And Ison. I like Ison. I liked Ison. I liked his ability. I liked his design a lot. I love Ison's design. Unfortunately, Ison, he's a coward. I thought Ison was really cool, and I thought like how he was the intel guy of everything was a very cool idea. But when push came to shove and everything, Ison is nothing but a complete two-faced coward. He didn't want to become a superhero, which is understandable because people died doing that. But Blyke decided Joker might be stronger, but I'm still going to try. Remy decided Joker might be stronger, I'm still going to try. Arlo said, John is stronger, I'm still going to try. Ison wanted no part of that. He never did. He wanted to kiss ass and try to avoid everything. So, Ison is one of the more disappointing characters. Now, cunt face. I do not like her. She is trash. Her name will not be mentioned. Because she dead. She should be dead. Way more healers in the world. She's not a royal. She likes to act high and mighty. She's barely an elite tier. Get off your high horse. And go sit in the corner with the rest of the low tiers. Because you're pathetic. Cecile. I like Cecile's design. What is her ability and stats, Uru? You've been pushing this off too long. I like Cecile. Well, I like her design. I don't trust Cecile. She's going to try and screw John over one way, and she going to die because of that. I'm still calling that. But it was interesting to see Cecile. Because she's also someone who's just, I will kiss up to the stronger ones of society so I can survive. She's in a way similar to Roman Torchwick, who their main objective from Ruby, like he said in Volume 3, he didn't really have anything to gain. He was just trying to survive. Then again, she was trying to use John to get back in with the press. So who knows? Who knows? Curious to see where they're gonna go for season 2. And I think that's it for the main cast. And so now I'm kind of just going to go do some questions that I thought of. So, actually, let's do chat real quick. Let's see. Not to mention when Arlo used... Yeah, same, Michael, like I said. Aldoon, true, yes. 3 for 1. Arlo is a boomer. Seems like he was supposed to be more sadistic. Maybe she changed her way through. He's like Vegeta. I really don't want Vaughn to be the bad guy. The thing Keon once said got me thinking, what if he is the bad guy? It's hard to tell. I wonder if Sarah will get her powers back. I'm certain Sarah will get her powers back. It's a shame that he was a tad too late and John was already not trusting everyone. Same. Ray plus Black plus old helmet John. Already know who you're talking about. The moment he realized John's true abilities, he went passive. Even Year 1 Zeke ripoff would crush Elaine. Fuck Elaine. Oh shit, I mentioned her name. Damn it. I feel like there's going to be a ton of more not slain from John. Thought slain from John in season 2. If she breathes, she's a thought. Cecile is definitely a thought. I want John to beat the crap out of the blue-haired dishwasher. Who dat? Are you talking about Elaine again, Mike? You forgot the best character. Shut up, Joshua. Get out of my stream. John warned her not to piss him off. True. He did. But Cecile has a penchant for pushing her luck. She really does. Like, Arlo told her, like, this will not enter the school. If this does, you know what will happen. And she just said, I can't do this, so find another way to do it. Junie got what she was coming. I don't feel bad for Junie at all. Actually, something, Mike, I think it was you, posted in Discord once, something that got me thinking and did make me feel somewhat bad for Junie. I want to see if I can find it. It's the thing you posted, Mike, of Junie. Yes, the image. It's the image. If you can, find that and post it real quick. I'm trying to find it right now. Okay, while Mike is getting that for me, I will continue on. John used to think that his life was a tragedy when he realized it's a hierarchy. Oh man, I saw Joker. That was heavy for me. Oh, ooh wee. But moving on, moving on. What was I talking about? Anyway, right. So a list of things that I just thought to talk about. My favorite character, like I said, John and Seraphina. Of the trio, it's Blake. My least favorite characters are Arlo and Elaine, for I already explained it. Who changed for the best? Blake. Because, again, at the end of the day, he's the only person who tried to be John's friend because he legitimately wanted to. He had no influence from John or anything else, or he had no influence from John or UnOrdinary. He saw firsthand what was happening and he wasn't okay with it. So he tried to be John's friend. I feel like he changed for the better. Clearly, once he learned the truth, he wanted nothing to do with John, which is understandable and it's fine. Because let's be honest, no one really does want to be friends with someone who beat the crap out of them mercilessly. Blake doesn't have Stockholm syndrome. That's terrible. Who changed for the worst? Ison. Ison was legitimately super cool, and I was really excited for his character, but at the end of the day, when push came to shove, he ended up being nothing but a coward. And I didn't like that. Okay. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. So, bring this over. No, go over. Go. There we go. There we go. I'll get to that in a second. But when push came to shove, he was just a coward. And, of course, also Remy. I didn't like Remy. Her character went from being this kind of rebel on the run, just decided that the society she was in was no longer what she wanted. But at the end of the day, her views and everything just became very hypocritical, very everything. I will say, like I said before, John was not in the right to talk about Rei the way he did. And I do hope once John realizes what Rei was doing, he will feel bad. Remy shouldn't accept that apology from John. She shouldn't accept that apology from John. I'll say that right now. And if I say otherwise later, call me on it, guys. But Remy shouldn't accept that apology from John because he had no right to talk about Rei because he didn't know Rei. And I hope John refines that light he had, that his father provided for him. I hope he finds that. But who knows? Who knows? Let's see. Next one. Favorite arc. My favorite arc for the season. These are two separate arcs, but I'm going to push them together. Because I'll say right now, Joker wasn't necessarily my favorite arc. It wasn't. It was very cool. It was very action-packed. There was a lot of good story in it, but it wasn't my favorite arc. I wouldn't say. I would say it was definitely one of the better, but I wouldn't say it was the best of the season. But not for me, at least. It was still a wonderful arc. But I would say my favorite arc was Arlo versus John through the break-in at John's house. Though it was very cool to see John immediately after Arlo had done everything to him ask Arlo for help. Force Arlo to help him. But he still asked. He did still ask. Clearly, not everything went according to plan with that season, or with that arc. There was still a lot of conflict. But at the end of the day, they put their differences aside to protect Seraphina. It was really cool to see that group and her doing nothing except for pulling a knife and healing Arlo. It was really cool to see that group together, and it was interesting to see Arlo and John's interactions with each other during that arc. Mainly when the intruders were attacking and kidnapping Seraphina, and John was like trying to tell Arlo, hey, we need to distract them somehow. Give me an opening so I can take care of it. Wait just a goddamn minute. I was gonna say, the intruders had a teleporting ability. And I said that Kuyo, whatever his name is, I already forgot. Kuyo was probably related to Zeke. So I was starting to think maybe he was one of the intruders, but it doesn't look like he was. Yes, it did work, Mike. Thank you. Aldoon, I will get to that later. I know I say that a lot, and I'm really sorry, but that is something that I'm actually trying to look into. But continuing on, it was cool to see John and Arlo put their differences aside to protect Seraphina. Again, it goes back to everyone's motivations being revolved to Seraphina. That was my favorite arc. Arlo versus John through the house invasion. It was really cool. And plus, it was so awesome to see John in action finally. Like, that fight. Again, UnOrdinary. Okay. Someone animated. I saw this on Twitter long ago. I was like going through like a bunch of old stuff on Twitter. Someone animated the very beginning of John versus Arlo when John activates Ventus's ability. I can't find it anymore though, and it's driving me crazy. It was only on Twitter. I tried looking for it on YouTube, but nothing. And like this person like legitimately animated everything, not like webtoons just moving around arms and stuff on the freaking on the comic pages. Like it was legitimately animated, and it was beautiful. I can't wait for that scene to become animated. And anyone who's out there looking for a voice actor for that scene, I'm available. Email me, message me, do something. My Twitter's in the description. I'd like to try voicing John if that's okay. Anyway, it was cool to see John in action and to see what he was capable of. It was also really cool to see two people who had nothing to do with the story. It was cool to see two people who were not connected or important in any way react to John. Like, the only people who know about John, the whole main cast, let me pull that up. Uru sent me my Patreon stuffs, so I'm excited for that. And I need to get frames for these as well. But main cast, everyone knows about John now that season 1 is over. Seraphina knows, Blake, Ice, and Remy knows, Cecile knows, Arlo knows, and Elaine knows. It was cool to see two people who are not important other than being Arlo's lackeys, who have nothing to contribute to the story, react to John, because they know the truth now. And of course, also Terrence knows as well. There's definitely a big group of people who know about John. But also Terrence doesn't really know what John's capable of. All Terrence knows is that John did beat Arlo, but Terrence has never seen John in action. I'm also very curious if Terrence knows that John was Joker. So yeah, favorite arcs right there. Let's catch up on chat one more time. Seeing that thing piss her pants after knowing John was strong as was also fun. Yes, it was. Seeing John slap Elaine and be like, "Shut your goddamn mouth." Yes, I do support. I do support Uru on Patreon. It's midnight where you are. Edgy, thank you for staying, but if you need to get rest, buddy. But yeah, look at this awesome print. What's next? least favorite fight, or favorite fight. I'm gonna say again, John versus Arlo. The first round. John versus Arlo, Remy, and Ventus was amazing. It was beautiful. It was fantastic to finally see what John was capable of. And it was cool to see like him just go to town on all three of them. Then, of course, it's the final fight of the season. Joker versus the Royals and Dyson. It was beautifully done. Like, Remy kept preparing. She kept thinking mentally, like, I can take Arlo. I'm used to Cecile's ability, and I'm no stranger to a duel match if he ends up with my ability. But he completely turned the tables on her and on all of us by choosing to go with Zeke's ability. And yeah, it was beautiful. Like, everything John did and all the art for that fight was epic too. Like, go ahead and pull some of this up. Like, all the art for that was beautiful too. Like, let's see, some of my favorite shots. This shot was epic. Actually, let's zoom out a little bit so we can get the whole pitch in there. That's epic. So we started with Zeke's ability. Hell yeah, he did. And it was cool to see Remy in action, like, for once too. Because with Vulcan, she was more so driven by emotion, and her fighting style, I want to say, was a bit sloppy. And also, of course, when she was fighting against low tiers, even if they were amped up, she wasn't going ham, I would say. But seeing her, like, legitimately fight was epic. And then, of course, when John, like, started freaking pulling out all the stops on everything, seeing, like, his lightning creep up on her was amazing. And then, of course, we had Blake taking his cheap shots. And Remy doing that shot there, that was epic. And then, of course, he got her. Beautiful shot. Equality for all. Oh my god, I'm terrible. And then, this part right here. Him scaling the goddamn wall. And then him taking out Blake and Ison. That's enough of that. It was my favorite. It was the best fight. It definitely was. Uru pulled out everything for that fight. So it was cool to see that, and I can't wait for that to be animated one day. And of course, with that fight also came Seraphina knowing the truth. So it's interesting to see where that dynamic is going to go. Like I've been saying that with everything. My least favorite fight. My least favorite fight was definitely John versus Blake. Because it was epic. It was really cool to see what John was capable of doing with Blake's ability. But it was also really sad because, again, Blake, we all knew Blake wasn't going to win. We all knew that Blake had no chance, even though he was being very confident in himself. We knew Blake had no chance, but, again, it comes back to Blake actually trying with John. He was actually, like, Blake thought John might be scared or intimidated by the whole Joker thing that was going on, but he said, like, hey man, don't worry, I'm going to take Joker down, everything's going to be cool. Like, you don't need to worry, he's not going to hurt anyone, he's not going to hurt you, I'm not going to let him. But John was just like, I don't care about you, go away. And it was rough, it was sad to see. So, yes, that's right. It was rough. It was super epic. But just to see John, like, go up against the one person who, and of course the whole time, it doesn't justify his actions, but John's reasonings for not wanting to befriend John, or what is his name, Blake, it stems back to his trust in everyone just being completely shattered after Arlo. So it was sad to see him react that way to the one person who's actually tried. Blake was not scared of John. Blake was not threatened by John. Blake was just like, I'm sorry. Like, he was legitimately sorry. So it was sad to see him do that to Blake. It was still epic. And I'm still pretty sure I was super pumped about that fight. But it was also very sad. It was hard to see. While we're on the subject of fights, though, now I shall come to the image I had Mike pull up for me. This is something that he compiled. I think you compiled it, Mike. If I'm wrong, let me know. Let's see. Yeah, you can tell Uru put her heart into it. Yes, yes. Hands down, my favorite fight is when Arlo versus John. I want a picture of the cast in Halloween costumes. That would be cool, too. I wonder if she's going to do that for the October reward for Patreon. Also, I sent this earlier, but Remy seemed to use the same moves John did. Yeah, she kind of did, actually. To be honest, when John fights, he kind of stops using his martial arts skill. Yes, he does. I do feel bad about Black. All his motivation and hope goes down the drain. My least was John versus Ison. I liked that fight, but again, it goes back to me kind of feeling bad for Ison. I did feel bad then. Because Ison was actually offering to help John in the end there. But John just wasn't having it. And to be fair, Ison had that coming too with everything he had done to John. But I think this is something that Mike came up with. Ah, okay. Well. Mike posted this for me and shared this with me, which is very interesting. But here is a scene from chapter... When was this? When were you? Chapter 112. So, it's when John finally got caught up with Junie. And this, again, Junie had it coming. But seeing this and realizing this was probably what was going down, I did feel kind of bad. Junie's ability, fast forward, she can see a little bit into the future. Just by a second, I think she said. Just by a second. She saw him catch up. Her ability was still activated at this time. And all she saw the entire time was that there was nothing she could do. So again, watching John do this to Junie, I felt so relieved. I felt so exhilarated to watch this freaking bun-haired cow get what she deserved. But the whole time, not only did she have to go through this, not only did she have to experience this pain and this torture, she had to see it happen and know that there was nothing she could do about it. Because she saw the future. She knew what was going to happen. Though her ability isn't active right here. She blacks out right there, but she saw herself getting kicked too. So seeing that, I was like, you know what? I actually do feel kind of bad for her now. Because there was nothing she could have done to avoid that. In the end, it was all pointless. So seeing that, like, it's like really cool. It would have been awesome if Uru like put that in, because while her ability was still active, while she was fighting John, we saw her get glimpses of what was going to go down as they continued. But the whole time, again, she couldn't do anything. She like kept seeing like this won't work. Okay, let's try this. So, but in the end, with her ability still active, she was still seeing everything happen. So that's that. Expectations for Season 2. Clearly, there's going to be a big dynamic shift between the main cast. I'm very curious to see how Sarah is going to react to John when they meet back up. I'm also curious to see how the dynamic between Arlo and everyone who knows and everyone who just lost is going to change. Cecile is going to betray John at some point. She's going to try and like overthrow him somehow or do something, but she's going to fail. And then of course we have the whole fiasco with the staff of everything. Clearly Doc is going to be pissed. Headmaster Vaughn will probably just be like, they had it coming. John is my strongest student now. Keen, I'm interested to see how he's going to react. I also want to learn a lot more about Keen. Clearly, Keon is going to find out about John again. He's going to find out there's going to be something different at Wellston. Who knows? Maybe news will break out. Like, maybe, like, it'll be on the news, like, hey, this happened at Wellston. Then again, Vaughn does also keep out authorities and everything, so he might keep out the press, too. No. Because if... We know that John sent Zeke and Junie to the hospital. So, if they send the Royals to the hospital, that will probably be a story. Like, for the news. So that will probably alert Keon. But who knows? I want to see more about Ember. I think we're going to learn more about Ember this arc, or this next season. And I think William's going to make a return soon. I think he is. Or Seraphina's going to reach out to William and be like, hey, this has been happening. What do I do? And one way or another, John has to get another copy of UnOrdinary. Because I said this in the past too. The reason why John was able to stay calm throughout everything, the reason why he was peaceful with the way his life was because he had the reassurance that his dad gave him. He had the reassurance that, like, hey, like, those in power, they're always looking to make society better. Like, this is how the world could be. This is how things should be. And he had that motivation, but when it got taken away from him, he stopped reading it. He didn't have that motivation anymore. Like he said to Keon, he didn't read it because he wanted to be a superhero. He read it because it made him feel, I can be a better person and the world can be a better place. He read it for reassurance. John has to get another copy of UnOrdinary, or he needs to be reassured by Seraphina that UnOrdinary does matter, because that's her entire motivation as well. I'm excited. Apparently, Uru has confirmed that Blake can become a high tier. I'm excited to see how that turns out. I'm excited to see what his ability would be. And of course, I'm also excited to see how everyone will get stronger as well. Seraphina's definitely got to get her ability back somehow. But like I said before, I'm pretty sure at this point it's just mental. I'm pretty sure she just thinks, I can't use my ability. I don't have my ability. I can't use my ability. I think Seraphina just has a mental blockade inside of her that's stopping her from using it. Hello, Shadow Light Lady. Welcome. Jersey Mike's sponsor me. I love your sandwiches. Have you talked about Seraphina possibly getting her powers back? Just touched on that. So, yes, I think some way or another Seraphina is going to get her abilities back, but I'm pretty sure she already can use them. It's just a mental blockade where she thinks she can't use it, so she doesn't use it. So I think that's what's going on there. Of course, there's also Layla, who Doc said, like, hey, can you help out this student because she really needs it. So I'm excited to see that. What else? John's hierarchy. Also, no, number 9. Who is number 9? What is their power? What is Holden's ability? Like, there's still a lot of students at Wellston who are important that we know nothing about. So I want to learn more about number 9, and I want to learn more about Holden. I want to know what Holden's capable of. Because I brought this up as well. Holden is the weakest of the top 10. Yes, number 9 again. Michael, shut up. Holden is the weakest of the top 10, but he's the only person in the story, at least from what we've seen, that is Arlo's friend, who actively hangs out with Arlo. Otis. It could be Otis, but I was more so thinking Otis was Cecile's brother or something. I have nothing to back that up. Nothing. That's just what I thought. But Otis could be number 9. And I also wanted to ask Uru in the Q&A, but I didn't because I also kind of wanted to avoid stuff. I also asked Uru, yo, do we know who number 9 is? Or have we not met them yet either? But yeah, Holden is the one person who's Arlo's friend in the story. The one person who we've seen hang out with Arlo. But I also thought, what if Holden's not Arlo's friend? What if he's the king's jester, the king's lackey? Like, just like the king's henchman, you know? but then again, like that kind of fits to the whole like thing with Melee and Ventus. But like, what if Holden was just literally just like Arlo's jester, his Joker? But yeah, that was just my thoughts there. So I expect to see that next season, Uru. Anyway, what else? Actually, there was some things I put in the Discord to... let's see. Let's see. I already covered what I thought of Mike. Nothing really to go over. Okay, never mind. Do you guys have any last minute questions before I wrap things up then? Because I think I've covered pretty much everything I wanted to go over. So we will stick around for just a bit longer. The Ability Research Facility. Oh, where Layla works. I'm skeptical about that place. Because I have no idea what their gain is. They're researching abilities. We know that, but what necessarily does that mean? Next gen. So next gen, I'm like 70% positive that next gen is Ember. I'm also like 70% positive that... I'm also like 40% positive that Zetasai, I think is what it's called, is Ember. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I'm like thinking they're connected somehow. I'm also curious to see about John's mom, but I will cover that in another video. Because I have something... I don't think people have brought it up. I don't think it's been brought up. I don't think this has been... well, I've seen like some speculation on it. But again, the things that have been going down are not like... The things that have been brought up like don't really add up. I will say this though. Random thought. I brought this up in the past. I brought this up to... again, Vulcan have similar abilities. They both have abilities related to fire and heat with their hands. And also, if I'm not mistaken... Okay, they don't have the same color eyes, but they do have similar colored hair. So, I think Vulcan and Howard are related to each other. But yeah, that's my thought there. Could Ember have stolen from them? Was it a cover? Right, so yes, that's right. Zeta, Next Gen, and has like said, one of the companies has said, like, we've gotten a lot of crap stolen from us. So that is suspicious. That is very suspicious. But who knows? Who knows what's going down, really? Uru knows. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed this little chapter. I think it was very fun. And it was cool to see where Rei came from. Well, the beginning of where Rei came from. Again, Uru. Just hear me out. Hear me out. You've already started Rei's story, which is totally fine. But telling the book that William wrote, telling UnOrdinary when we finally do understand like what exactly it was that William wrote, tell it through the perspective of Rei's time as ecstatic. I think that would be fantastic. Just a thought. I'll beat it like a dead horse, but just a thought. That is going to be it for this evening because I'm tired and I do have work tomorrow. But see you guys next time. And I think we will be back soon with Code Adam and more webtoons. I do want to say this now. If FastPass gets updated with UnOrdinary, I do plan on just continuing that the way it is. I'm not going to be showing the comics, guys. So showing what I had going on today, that won't always be a thing with UnOrdinary because I do plan on just keeping that the way I was doing it before, with just reacting to it because Uru let me do so. But that's not going to change. But with other webtoons, I don't plan on fast passing them, so I will just react to those as normal. So I'll see you guys next week for UnOrdinary when it gets updated. I'm pretty sure it will get updated. But I do also plan on seeing you guys very soon for more webtoons. Until then, see you guys later.